I want to explain the gear I brought and why. So let's go over here and take a look at it. Killian's here. He fell off a fence at the yogurt shop, kind of twisted his arm. We're going to make him sit out a couple weeks. Look at that right there. All right, let me explain what I got here and why. Okay. This board is my favorite shape. OG bar Lucero. This board was my favorite shape. It's the Anti-Hero, the Grosso shape. They're both 925. They're about the same length. What I like better about this OG bar board is the tail. It's a little wider. I think there's about a ½ inch more width on the tail, maybe a little longer. And this one's a little more narrow. I don't dig that as much. If I didn't have this board, I'd definitely be on this one. This board here is the Lucero 10-inch Black Label. I love the way that thing feels. Those are 215s. Indy. Still out on that. I'm not sure. I've contemplated putting my red independent 169s on there with this wheel because of the width to try to bring the wheel out. I like a little bit wider stance on my wheels compared to my deck so I can see my wheels when I'm doing grinds. On the backside, I like to know if my wheel pops out or not so I don't hang up coming back in. I did groove it a little, polished it right there. Those trucks could be polished to a high shine, I think. I might do that one time just to make one like a mirror finish. I know they sell them polished, but they're not that smooth. So anyway, I put my Gull Wings, which are a 9-inch truck, a little narrow for my taste, on this size board. I put them on there because I wanted to rock the 97A wheel. And this Hosoi wheel, it's probably the wheel I trust the most right now. And when I say trust, I'm talking about for certain tricks. Now this is a placebo. This is a perfect example of a placebo. In my mind, I'm safer to do rock and rolls on that wheel. Hands down. It's got a wider contact patch. It's a softer urethane. It chirps less. Look at the difference in the contact patch there. Dude, that's like, gosh, that's like a ½ inch. Let's compare it to this Black Rain. That's like almost a ¼ inch on the Black Rain. So, clearly, a more narrow contact patch is going to slide out more, guys. I'm sure you've realized that. So, all you guys riding the Bones SPF wheel, and you're afraid of it because it slides out, get a wider wheel. It's going to help you right off the bat. You could probably ride the same urethane and have it less slippery. That's why I actually prefer the Rock Candy, because it has a wider contact patch. And it's just as hard. All right. If you're trying to do rock and rolls, I highly advise wearing a helmet on that trick. I have slid out a couple times doing rock and rolls, and both times I've slammed the crud out of my head. I mean, the bouncing hits on your head. Slide out on a rock and roll has become first thing in my awareness, right? I think about that, okay? No SIBO, right? I think about that, right? It makes it riskier for me. So, plus SIBO, I want to go and get comfortable doing a lot of rock and rolls on something that I really trust. Can I do it on a harder wheel? Yeah. If I didn't have so much fear about it, can I do it easier? Heck yeah. Probably way easier. So anyway, okay. So this board I brought out today because I want to learn to do legitimate carve grinds. Typically, when I come up on the coping, say this, I'm coming up here, I put my back truck on, I carve, I lift up slightly, put my truck on, and then I lift off slightly. I try to do it so slight that you won't see it. But I'm afraid. I want to be able to legitimately roll on, roll off, and get a good carve grind. I want to do it on that board. Met a guy out here the other night that I've met one time before. A ripper. Great style. Capable of doing a lot of tricks. Typically comes out and just carves. Hits these radical slash and long, hard carve grinds. The kind of carve grind in that deep end down there where he's putting all his weight into it and he's just stomping on it. You hear that sound and it's just, God, it's so good. I want to be able to do that too. I want to be able to ride like he does too. I kind of want to learn it all, man. So anyway, let's see what we can do. I'm going to try. This other board has these Alva Cyclone wheels on it. And they're a 101. The Black Rain is also a 101. I feel like the Black Rain is more grippy. I trust the Black Rain a lot. That's a 63 millimeter. And for doing carve grinds on that board, being a larger wheel, I really trust that shape for getting on and off the coping safely. So if I'm going to be rolling on and off, I want to feel safe about how I do it. And this board's a placebo for me. Big long truck, I'm not going to edge out on the coping as easily. I got a wheel that rolls in and out easily. That's a placebo. That's the board I want to learn to do my carve grinds on. This board, a subscriber mentioned, why don't I try some 5.0s? Gull wings, I trust the most for really any kind of grinds, but definitely for a backside pivot, frontside pivot, which is scary for me to re-enter on that yet. I haven't tried that. I'm not ready to try that yet. But for doing a 5.0 grind, I think I want to be on this. Look at that. That kingpin's rusting already. Huh. That's a bummer. Anyway. The blue wheels, the Alva wheels, they match the board. So the reason they're on there, just about the looks. Although I don't hate the wheels, they feel a little more dry, a little more chalky. I haven't rode this setup in a while. 63 millimeter wheels, 215s. So it's vastly different than what I've been riding. Still, no excuse. They're only placebos anyway, and the placebos on this setup, I think they work for me. I don't think the wheel height is a problem. The 63 I think is good. It leads itself to a more top-end speed, really smooth feeling speed, which is good. I think the deck and the trucks being wider, I think it's good for carve grinds. Give me more area to grind on, less likely to edge out. Boom. Those are never fun.